we go. All right, we should be up and running over on YouTube. I got to tell you, the Celtics discourse is out of control now. It really is. And yes, this is the easiest path, maybe in the history of the NBA, right? They get the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler. I feel like they were missing a bunch of other people too, right? Then the Cavs and Magic go to 7 games. They get the Cavs, who are already without Jared Allen, and then Donovan Mitchell misses a handful of games. Even Karis LeVert was like, I think I'm all set for game 5. Then the Pacers and Knicks go to 7 games, and they get the 6-seeded Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, who then most likely will lose Halliburton for game 3 as they now go up 2-0. But here's the thing. They're beating the shit out of everybody. And everyone's like, oh, here we go. Here comes the crazy. We're going to start having a conversation that maybe Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. Like, this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes a guy gets cooking, right? Jaylen Brown goes for 40 points last night. Jaylen Brown gets cooking, and then everyone's like, you notice Jaylen Brown scored more than Jason Tatum? So what is the alternative? That Jason Tatum starts taking more shots? And then if Tatum starts taking more shots, people are going to be like, why are they going to Tatum? Brown's on fire. Get the ball to Jaylen Brown. We all need to come together and at least look ourselves in the mirror and just be like, we hate the Boston Celtics, and that bias is informing all of our takes. And that's fine. If you do that, that's okay. That's okay. Then at least you have come to terms with being a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? And embrace that dickhead energy. Just embrace it. Internalize it. Embrace it. I didn't expect to start on a rant, but the Celtics stuff's out of control. So yeah, exactly. 10-2 in the playoffs. They're beating some of those games are ugly. That's how the Celtics have been all year long. And they're doing it without Porzingis. All right. So anyways, it does suck that Hallie's gone down. All right. Now, man, there's so much yelling. There's so much yelling. If you're watching over on YouTube, hey, do me a favor. Come on over to the playbacks. That's where the magic's happening, baby. Come on over to the playback. Let me, as our friend Mike Weisberg would say, set the table here. Let me set the table for what we got going on today. We have, you're right here. You already made it to the NBA bit. Welcome. What we have going on later today at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to try it on playback today. So we've been, for those F1 fans, for the Team Hold Racing fans, we'll still simulcast it on our YouTube channel for Team Hold Racing too. But the Monaco Grand Prix is this weekend. So we're going to talk about last weekend's race and Red Bull's bounce back. And then we're going to get you ready for Monaco. Me and my guy, James. We were trying to see if Mihal was going to be here. And Mihal was like, I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm going to be hammered at that time. And I respect that energy. But again, he's on European time, so it's later. So that's going to be at 3 p.m. And then game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, we're going to fire that up here tonight as well. I'll be here. And all of those streams have already been set up, so you can see it in our schedule. So come hang out. Also, I believe, what are we now? 763 members strong. So appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and hanging out. But let's talk some of the, did I mute myself? I just said, oh no, that was the stage that was muted. Sorry, I realized I hadn't unmuted the stage. I was like, oh my God, was I just yelling for 4 minutes on mute and none of you told me? Kind of like when I was giving away rare tier cards, just like willy-nilly when they were supposed to be limited. But we're going to talk about the Celtics game. We'll get ready for tonight's game. We've got a couple. We're going to look at some, like the All-NBA stuff we talked about yesterday, but there was some fun voting stuff that came out. But first and foremost, Jaylen Brown dropped 40 points last night. JB dropped 40, went ham on him. And he took over from the beginning. There was a really good piece on the Athletic by Jay King this morning, last night, whatever you want to call it, that one of the developments of Jaylen Brown's game is they referenced a quote from Marcus Smart last year where he would say that Jaylen Brown sometimes when he was driving to the lane would drive with like a chicken with his head cut off. And they were saying the biggest development from last year to this year is just how he no longer is sped up by other defenses, that he's able to, like, they're playing at his pace. And he decided, I said this in the Cavs series, nobody can guard him on this team. And that has continued to be true here in this Pacers series. And he has just been balling. So last night, finished the game with 40 points. He had 5 rebounds too. In the playoffs this year, by the way, I think he's averaging 25 points and 6 boards a game, which I think is leading the team. Tatum finished with 23, 6, and 5. Al Horford only had to play 25 minutes. And I just want to thank Joe Mazzulla and the gods for allowing Al Horford to play less than 30 minutes for the first time since like fucking February or something like that. So we love to see it. We also saw Luke Cornett get hurt, and that gave us the O'Shea Brissett minutes, which was basically Viagra for Bill Simmons. Brissett went out there. He was plus 18 in 12 minutes off the bench. Might have had a little bit to do with where we were at the game at that point. Derek White had a great game too. He had 23 points, 6 dimes, and 4 boards. And then Drew Holiday, another double-double from the guy, had 15 and 10 last night as the guards just dominated. Pritch with 12 off the bench as well. One of the things that was a little bit surprising, right? So in the fourth quarter, and this game was already in hand. The Celtics already had the game in hand, so I don't want anyone being like, oh, the only reason they won game 2 was Halliburton got hurt. Halliburton was already hurt. I mean, the game was already over when Halliburton got hurt, but he tweaked his left hammy. Tweaked his left hamstring, which I believe is the same one that he hurt earlier in the season. So, and similar to like what we saw happen with OG Anunoby, those types of injuries really end up holding people out a little bit longer. Those soft tissues, right? It's not just like playing through a bone bruise or something like this. This is something that one could get worse, and 2 lingers, as the Cranberries would say. So I don't know. I would lean that Halliburton probably doesn't play game 3. Would be my guess, and most likely not game 4 because we're still on that every other day, I think, right? I think they play on Saturday and then again on Monday. So if that is going to be the case, I don't think we see Halliburton probably for the rest of the series, which sucks because you don't want to see. I mean, the same thing with the Knicks. It sucked that they were losing all their guys. It's too bad. It is kind of wild that Halliburton gets all NBA. Jaylen Brown comes out, drops 40. And Halliburton basically it was like Halliburton, Sabonis, and Devin Booker were kind of like the 3 like fringe guys. Not fringe, but like at the end. And then Jaylen Brown was the first guy off. Paul George also the second guy off. And Jaylen Brown had an incredible quote after the game. And I want to see if anybody has the Twitter link or whatever, throw it in there. I was trying to find it on YouTube quickly. But after the game, they asked him about the snub. They were like, well, how does it feel? Like, were you butthurt for not being a third team all NBA this year? And he was like, basically was like, dog, we're 2 wins away from the NBA finals. I don't give a fuck about that. Dropped an F-bomb too. Love it. Love that. Like, inject that. Actually, I have it. I tweeted it out last night. What am I talking about? Inject that into my veins, I believe is exactly what I tweeted, because that is, oh God, Jaylen Brown, who I know people like can sour on sometimes. And you know what? If the Celtics people who are not Celtics fans are usually Celtics haters. So you're going to sour on it anyways. Oh, I actually don't have the video. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's Barstool Sports though. That kind of sucks. That sucks that it's Barstool Sports. Let me go. Let's listen to. Hold on. We'll share screen here over on the Twitter. But yeah, I love that. I love it. Let's share screen. Let's blow this up. Can you guys see it okay? I think, no, yeah, you can.
Is there any motivation for you after hearing that you didn't make an All-NBA team?
No, I wouldn't say that.
What would you say?
I mean, we 2 games from the finals, so, honestly, I don't got the time to give a fuck.
Yes, inject that into my veins, Jaylen. That's how you win people over. Do not give up. That was great. Shout out Jaylen Brown. What a game from him last night, too. Boston Bay shared something from Brissett, says, I don't know if he's talking like this, but I'll talk like this for him. He should have been one on those teams. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, this is the right way to handle something like that, right? Sounds a little salty. And listen, Denver Nuggets team, take note for how people are handling this stuff. This is how you win over media type clips. Jaylen Brown stays locked in. I don't care about this. Focus on the team. Focus on team wins. We move on. Let everybody else talk for you, or your game talk for you. But you get Brissett saying stuff. Derek White was saying stuff. Peyton Pritchard went off on some stuff yesterday. So this is good. Listen, I normally don't write little love letters to the Celtics here because I try to stay like straight and narrow, But the Celtics deserve a little bit of love here. They can't control who they play, right? That's not their fault. This is what happens when you win a fuck ton of regular season games. You get to play the worst team in the playoffs. Shout out #Heat culture. All right. And then because the Cavs did their weird chicanery, they play the Magic in the second round when they tried to tank that game. Well, they did successfully tank that game against the Charlotte Hornets at the end of the regular season. They didn't hurt Jared Allen. And even the Cavs are mad that Jared Allen didn't play. They didn't control that. And you know what, Knicks? If you didn't have Tom Thibodeau playing you 48 minutes a game, maybe everybody doesn't get hurt and you get to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics didn't hurt you. You hurt you, okay? They don't control that they're in the Eastern Conference. So let's give them a little bit of love. They're smoking teams. 10-2 in the playoffs. Would you like to see the stupid? Yeah, I saw a bunch of that. I saw that on ESPN yesterday too. You know what? You know what's pissing me off about it too is that everybody's writing an article about people betting on Bronny to be the #1 pick. Who cares? Why? We're just doing that so people click. Oh yeah, it's another Bronny James article. We haven't talked this much about a second-round draft pick ever. I don't think ever. I mean, Bronny is Nikola Jokic in the sense that he should be getting drafted during Taco Bell commercials. That's the extent of it. That is the extent of it. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But he won't get drafted during a Taco Bell commercial because we're all going to be like, everybody's going, oh, Brian Windhorst is going to be like, why would the Charlotte Hornets take him? Is the Charlotte Hornets thinking that LeBron James going to, like, that's what we're going to do. Also, I saw a photo of Daryl Morey yesterday. In Brian Windhorst and Daryl Morey, if they're both, if Morey is clean shaven, they kind of have similar vibes. I think Daryl Morey should recreate that meme. Anyways, that's enough. Buzz City, bitch. That's right, Manicato. Let's look at some Jaylen Brown highlights, though. The guy dropped 40. We have to watch some of this game. Also, we're not going to House of Highlights today. Today, we're going to the NBA channel. Also, am I wrong about the Bronny stuff? Are you guys excited about the Bronny picks right now? I mean, I think it's cool. I just don't want to hear any more stories about it. I don't want any more like, well, 82 people placed a $100 bet on Bronny James going #1 overall. Yeah, you know what? Also, I don't know why this just reminded me of this. I'm sure everybody saw this clip already. The right in the butt from the Wheel of Fortune. Did everybody see that already on Twitter? That was excellent material. Apparently, that was 90 seconds into the episode, too. I also love that he was spelling it. We're going to do it right now. It's too much on the brain. Let me find it. The fact that he spelled it RITE is another one that I can't get over. Like, that is a crazy spelling. I want to know if he like went in there knowing that he was going to just bring this A game energy. Let's do it. Yeah, he spelled it RITE. All right, here we go. Shout out Taylor J. Tay Victoria 8 for the share. Here we go.
Tavares, right in the butt. What? No.
Look at his face, dude. Look at his face.
Blake.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's it.
One more time.
Tavares, right in the butt.
That face.
No.
Oh God, I love it. I love it so much. I also love like what is right? Yeah, that would have been a great rebuttal, Harrison. Oh, I'm sorry. What is right in the butt? Oh, that's funny. All right, let's watch some JB highlights.
Still fighting, and Holiday comes up with it. Jaylen Brown a three.
Also, I feel like the three-point shot better has gotten better from Jaylen Brown, too.
In the fact that he wants to play
Look
well
that up.
against his former team, but the chip be given up quick.
Indiana is going to pressure in the backcourt. This is something they've done in the last 2 series. Again,
Also, just a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, we're watching clips together over on Playback. I'll drop a link into the chat. Come on over on Playback.
In and out. Brown, an offensive rebound, puts it up and in. Because of his ability to pick and pop against Turner and against smaller lineups that the Pacers can throw out, he can.
You guys couldn't hear me at all when I said that? I was just talking to YouTube anyways about going over there. But real quick, Jaylen Brown, career, actually just a little bit better. He's a career 36%. Oh, no, a little bit worse this year. Oh, interesting. 35 career 36% shooter, 3-point shooter, 35% this year. But he's averaging 5 more points than his career average, 23 points. 5 and 4 this year. What's his playoffs? His last 5 games, he's gone. Actually, yeah, he hasn't been taking that many threes. Well, I'm full of shit.
Punish switches. Brown punishes from downtown. His second 3-pointer.
every year this guy has improved his
Yeah,
skill
Tatum is
set.
not shooting
A lot
well.
of
Look at that little
conversation
step
always
back.
about his
Obi
left-hand
popping,
drive.
get
He
that
was
shit
better
out
then,
of here.
but look at that form.
Pacers shooting has dropped now to 44%. Alley-oop to Brown. Banks it in on a gorgeous feed from Holiday.
Also, I feel like this game was
In
the
the early shift against Drew
most
Holiday,
likely outcome.
Jaylen Brown gets
After the
behind.
Pacers lose a close game like
Launches
that,
spin move, drives inside.
it just felt like
Double
they were
team,
due
shot
for a blowout.
White and Horford were right there. Brown with force scores.
Just cooking.
Brown, the game's leading scorer, 19 points.
I didn't
here in
listen
the
to most
first
of this
half.
game with sound on. How was the call last night?
Finds some room,
With
drives
Breen,
inside.
Doris, and JJ.
Punch on the
I had a
shot,
couple
banks
Celtics
it
fans
home.
text me
21
being
first
like,
half points for Jaylen Brown.
Dorsberg hates the Celtics. I promise you, nobody hates anybody.
And he's got an advantage every time that Halliburton ends up on.
Oh, there you go, Falcone. Smoking blunts with the music on.
Naismith,
There you go.
dribbling, lost the ball. Tatum, Holiday.
Just doing some rooftop trivia last night while the game was on.
Unselfish
But luckily,
play
was
for
able
the
to watch
Celtics.
most of it.
Timeout Pacers. The lead back up to
All right, that's
13.
enough. That's enough JB highlights. So JB goes for 40. Biggest win, I feel like, for the Celtics this postseason. They're now 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. I think the Pacers are in trouble. Again, if Halliburton's not going to be able to play, that's it. That's a wrap. I don't know if there's anything else to really take away from this game other than it was just cool to see JB just like, respond with this game. No, I can't, Boston base. So we'll have game 3 in Indiana on Saturday. I'm assuming that's Saturday night, right? I'm assuming that's an 8 p.m. game as well. Let me just double check that right now to make sure that it's 8 p.m. I feel like all these games are 8:30. Ooh, excuse me, 8:30. We get a little late night action, not the normal 8 o'clock. Must be Saturday. That must be why. And that'll be game 3, and then hopefully that'll wrap it up. Then they can just go up 3-0. I think like one exciting potential, if you are a Celtics fan, one exciting potential outcome of this series right now is that if they are able to go up 3-0, like if they are able to win game 3 in Indiana, I don't think they have to play Porzingis in game 4, or maybe they just like dabble him out there for 10 to 12 minutes to try to get his game legs under him. And if that is the case, then I'm pretty sure like game 1 of the finals is starting on a specific day, right? It has nothing to do with when these series end. So they're not going to like move the dates for it. The games are already set in stone. So if they are wrapping this up in 4, there's a chance they have like 10 days off or something like that. Yeah, there we go. Weisberg just put in the chat 10 days off, which obviously would be, a great advantage, especially because we assume based on game 1 that this Mavericks Wolves series is going to be like strewn out a little bit. Sorry, I'm late. Are we talking about Pascal walking this summer yet? Tesla, did you see a report of that? We can talk about that for a second. And the reporting that I saw from Jake Fisher was that it's more than likely that Pascal is signing with the Pacers and that it was OG Anunoby who was going to be walking. Unless you saw another report. That's what we had talked about yesterday. Oh, you're just speaking it into existence. No, I'm sorry, bro. Siakam's staying with the corn crew of Indiana. I know. Well, I don't, but sometimes you come with real alpha, Tesla. Sometimes you do it. This is a different Pacers team, man. They're going to start paying people, I think. They're going to try to win. But anyways, yeah, so the 10 days off would be pretty huge, and especially if Porzingis only like can just get healthier and healthier. I thought a lot of the conversation yesterday about Minnesota and Dallas was pretty surprising because it's surprising in the sense that it feels like everybody's still very, very split on who's going to win this series. So if you had Minnesota in 7, I think losing game 1 didn't really move the needle at all for you. So it was just kind of, normally everybody overreacts wildly one way or the other. They're like, well, Mavs won game 1. That's a wrap. Mavs are taking this. But everybody really stuck to their guns. I thought that conversation was kind of interesting. In game 2 tonight, the thing that I'm most intrigued by is how Anthony Edwards is going to respond to, a relatively quiet game. I know he like piled up the stats in the sense they had like 19, 11, and 8 or something like that, but was not shooting the ball well. They chucked a ton of threes. I wonder if they attack Luka a little bit more. They seem to because if you think Luka is going to cook you on the offensive end, I think I would try to get him in a lot of action to try to slow him down, or at least like wear him out a little bit. And we'll have to see if the Timberwolves are, they said that they were tired after that game 7 heading into game 1. Well, it's not like they're getting more time off for game 2. It's just a day off, right? So we'll see. The TNT Barkley, I mean, it sounds like, wouldn't a divorce be coming regardless? Like Charles already said that, right? Didn't Charles say that a while ago that he was going to, he was going to keep doing stuff? So if TNT is not going to have basketball, I don't think he's going to stay for the college football games that TNT is potentially going to get. I saw that he mentioned yesterday about, with the tweet that you shared. He can come on to playback too. He can come on to playback. All right, I think that's it for previewing some of the stuff for tonight, right? Anybody else that we'll do a pick'em here in a little bit. We talked a little bit about JB Bickerstaff getting fired yesterday, I think, right? I was reading something on The Athletic this morning too about how that might be one of the more desirable jobs this offseason for a coaching vacancy. That's why, I mean, listen, if you're a coach, you're just trying, or a prospective coach, you're just trying to get a job. So I don't blame people for taking the job right away. But it is kind of fun. I always think of Quinn Snyder, who was probably the most desirable coaching candidate after he left Utah. Everybody had a pretty high level of respect for him. They thought he was a really good coach, right? And then he takes that Atlanta job like right away, where I think if he had waited a little bit, he would have his pick of the litter of any job that he wanted. And so I think about that as like Coach Bud taking the Suns job. I know the Lakers job is still available, but like the Cavs job comes open, I feel like the Cavs job would be a little bit more enticing than the Phoenix job. And maybe people disagree, but I would not sign it. The Phoenix job and the LA job is a classic. You will be there for 2 years minimum, unless you win a championship, right? And the people are just going to keep getting fired. So, I was kind of surprised. Matty Harrison, totally agree. They do need Charles Barkley does need a generic white guy co-host. Absolutely. Everybody does. Is that desirable? Can we talk about Kobe Altman firing 4 coaches? I think it's desirable in that their stakes are a little bit lower and they have like young pieces that they're going to be building around. Like I think Garland and Mobley are still going to be the 2 that are there. I know Kobe Altman fires people quickly, but I mean, the Suns are paying like 3 coaches right now. The Lakers are paying 3 coaches right now. So I do think that would be relatively a desirable job. And JB Bickerstaff, was JB an interim coach? Like he took over for somebody getting fired, right? And then then they just kept him there. Is that right? I feel like I'm not making that up, but maybe I am. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, Coach Bud. Yeah, oh my God, John Boeheim. Remember John Boeheim? Wow. John Boeheim, Michigan. Was Jay Catch still in the chat? I know he was here for a little bit. Wolverine, great. Boeheim. Listen, I was rooting for it. I was a Boeheim fan. I loved it. Any other NBA slop we need to get into? I know I didn't see too many other trade rumors. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was just how hilarious a lot of the voting was. I got a link here that we can kind of go over together and just look at some of the funny stuff about voting. Here we go. You can see all the nitty gritty. We're going to go over here. We'll share screen in a second once this loads. But some, had to come from the other room there. Hell yeah. The link's not loading yet. Give me a second. But yeah, we're going to look at the voting because shout out our guy. Was this like Spanish reporter? Wow, Spanish fucking reporter, Spanish reporter who just gave Sabonis all the love. Although the one thing I kind of respect about it is Sabonis Lithuanian, right? He's Lithuanian. I respect that it wasn't a Lithuanian reporter. It was a Spanish reporter because there's also a Greek reporter that went hard for Giannis. Yeah, there we go. Ignacio Garcia Marza. All right, here we go. So let's go look at Defensive Player of the Year. Let's look at the voter ballots. It's a PDF, man. We're going in a deep dive. Good Lord. Can we just sort by... Here, let's blow this up. This actually, we can ask an AI assistant if we would like. All right, let's look at Ignacio. Can I not do Control F? Where you at? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Victor Wembanyama, first place. Bam, second place. So he did not have Rudy on his ballot. That's incredible. That's incredible. The other guy, I forget the Greek guy's name. I guess we could just sort by Giannis, because I think he had Giannis on all of his ballots or something like that. Oh man, I can't see it. But like, to not have Rudy on the ballot at all is kind of hilarious. And I forget JJ Redick has a vote. Ryan Russillo. Look at Ryan Russillo voting. Wemby, Rudy, Herb Jones, third team. All right, Ryan Russillo. Taylor Rooks had Rudy, Wemby, Bam. I feel like that's what I would have had. Rudy, Wemby, Bam. That would have been my three. So SVG had the Josh Hart all defense ballot and didn't have Bam. Yeah, Stan Van Gundy was taking some L's on Twitter yesterday too. Let's go back and find another one here. So that was Defensive Player of the Year. Let's look at MVP. I think the MVP one also had a funny one. This is the one where I think, wow, God, so many people voted. You guys can't see any of this shit. So let me just try to find it here. But there was one that had Giannis. Giannis won overall, I think, and Luka was completely left off the ballot. Is that right? I like seeing the guys who voted for SGA first. Stephen A. Smith went SGA, Jokic, Luka, Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum. So he didn't have Giannis on his ballot at all. Also, what do we got to do to get a vote? We got to change the voting system a little bit. I think we need to have. I think that every fan base should be able to pick one fan to vote. You know how instead of fuck a fan, it's just like a vote. You know, you get a fan that votes. Oh yeah, I saw one. Nakai said, "How does one land on Grady, Jordan Hawkins making all rookie team with leaving Brandon Miller completely off?" Yeah, I saw that. I think Perkins had a weird Brandon Miller one too, or maybe he had, because there was Stan Van Gundy might have left Chet off his ballot as well, which I love. I like getting into this. I don't think we should be bullying people or harassing people online. What a hot take about that, huh? What a hot take. But I do think that we should be able to make fun of it a little bit. You know, maybe don't at them, but we should be able to make fun of them. So I'm glad we're doing that. Also, I see there's a handful of people over on the YouTubes. Come on over to Playback, girl. Bullying is good, actually. Okay. Can I just sort by specific ballots? Let me see. Can I just look at somebody's ballot? I don't think so. Maybe that's how they stay away from us bullying. Because I would like to just look at someone's overall ballot. And I know there was a Twitter thread actually this morning. I can't remember his name. It's like Mid-Range Jumper or something like that. That broke down all of the votes. That was pretty good. I don't know. I don't have it. I meant to bookmark it and I didn't. But it basically bookmarked everything that was kind of bad and then would do it. But Weisberg, I'm honestly surprised. After you knocked out that thread yesterday, I'm surprised you didn't do that next. Harrison said I bullied lots of people and turned out fine. I don't see the big deal. Ooh, okay. Any other NBA slop we need to get into before we pick up a pick'em for today? Just a reminder too, if you were joining a little bit later, 3 p.m. today, we're firing up a little F1 content for you over here. And then at 8:30 or 8 p.m., we'll fire up Playback again for the Mavericks. Wow, there's somebody just driving the wrong way on this street right now. What is going on? We live on a one-way. What's happening? And it is a very old man. Wow. All right. Getting a little wild here in the Astoria streets this morning. Everybody, yeah, man, we haven't done a man on the street in a while. I don't think we can do man on the street. Well, we can do it on Playback, but I'm not doing that today. It's too hot to be doing a man on the street. And then my dog's going to think I'm taking him out. He's going to get all jacked up. And then, we'll do one soon. Maybe we'll do a planned one. Remember those walk and talks that Pack Rip used to do? And then the other Pack Rip started doing them? We got to bring those back. Also, I watched Jacob and Tandy yesterday on the Tandy show. Here, we'll do a little Top Shot minute here. Somebody needs to give Jacob a hug. I felt bad. He looks sad. I feel like he needs a hug. And also for moments, it felt like two hostages interviewing each other. I was like, can somebody free these men? And if you don't believe me, go check it out for yourself. But it was good. It was good to see Jacob. Although I hope he's okay. But good interview. Good interview. My favorite part is when Tandy asked Jacob about a blog he hadn't read. And he was like, can you tell me about, and Jacob didn't write. He was like, did you read this blog by so-and-so? Because I haven't. And then he was like, can you tell me about it? And I think that should be a segment that every interviewer should do. Speaking of interviews, did you guys see the Richard Jefferson and Tim Duncan bit? Because if not, I think maybe we'll fire that up. We can watch that together right now. Because why not? We can do whatever we want. It's pretty. I would say. I think it was trying to be between two ferns. I think all of it, and I think it had mid success for a non-comedian person. Fun in there. Tim Duncan was great. It was great to see Tim Duncan back. It was fun. Let's watch it right now. Who cares? Let's just watch it. Let me go full screen on you.
Just walk off into the sunset without anything. Was it to avoid interviews like these?
Mostly. that was much longer, much more painful.
When Larry and I were talking about who should our first guest be, we wanted someone that spent a tremendous amount of time, someone that Larry was truly comfortable with. Mr. 21.
I got to tell you, Richard Jefferson was in my dream last night. I'm remembering this right now. I'm remembering it right now because in my dream, I made fun of him for how unbuttoned his shirt was. It was on some studio show that I was on, and Richard Jefferson was there. And apparently that's what I'm dreaming about, which, may be embarrassing to admit. But I just saw how unbuttoned his shirt was, and I remember making fun of him about that.
Savage himself, the big fundamental, 5-time NBA champion, and Olympic bronze medalist, Tim Duncan.
Hey, Richard, how are you?
I'm good. I'm not nervous.
You're sweating a little bit.
This is one of my first interviews, so we're going to get straight to the hard-hitting questions immediately, all right? Do you feel you don't get enough credit for the start of the Redeem team?
I think we get a lot. Yes, I believe that we don't get enough credit.
Do you feel like you get enough credit?
I forgot Duncan was on that.
We should get a lot of the credit for starting the uptick in redeeming what we did.
That you led.
Why did I lead it?
You were a 2-time champion MVP. Like, what do you mean? You get all the credit and blame for everything. You know that.
Yeah, but I was just better than you.
Thank you. Tim, question 1.
You've already asked me 4 questions.
Okay, question 5. Start, bench, cut. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, David Robinson.
I was surprised he
I
answered this,
start
honestly.
One person.
Yes.
I'll start David.
Okay.
Bench Manu, and I'll cut the French boy. Can I do it again?
Wait, I got...
I thought, listen, I did not expect an honest answer there, and he wanted to cut. And then I think he was like, can I do it again so I can cut? Like, he was going to cut one of them every time. But that was great.
Start, bench, cut. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
No, I refuse to answer that one.
You can't plead the fifth.
I will start all 3 of them and cut and bench myself.
Also, I feel like this is so obvious. You're starting Jordan, you're benching LeBron, you're cutting Kobe.
That is the correct answer. That's the correct answer. Okay, how about this? This is one of Larry's questions. Since you've retired, how has your definition of success changed, right? You're not competing every single day towards a singular goal, and that was winning a championship or being great. Like, how do you find that outlet?
Raising good kids.
Tell me more about your children.
No. No. How are yours, by the way? Good?
No, they're not happy. Looking back on your career,
yes.
What was your favorite NBA memory?
My favorite NBA memory was holding Larry multiple times. I have memories.
How young he is here.
In the bus after the first one. I have memories of carrying my kids after one of the championships. I have memories of standing on the stage and the confetti all over. I've got a ton of great memories, most of them involving Larry.
Right, rookie year, right?
You've had a complex relationship with the referees. Famously, Joey Crawford. Tim is the only person
I forgot all about this.
Kicked out of a game for laughing.
And a technical foul called. I think it's on Tim Duncan sitting on the bench.
Can you take us through that moment? And I'm just going to let you...
Also, what is Joey Crawford doing now? He's not reffing anymore, right? Where's Joey? Can we get Joe? Listen, I hate Steve Javie. I hate every time ESPN, let's go to show Steve Javie in the booth. I never need to hear from Steve. Joey Crawford, I would hear from.
Look at this and then let you react.
I think he's probably doing something racist.
And a blocking foul. As Joey Crawford saying Alberto moving. Hey, Popovich doesn't like that one either. And another technical foul. And this was when Duncan's out of the game. He's thrown Duncan out of the game.
It was a heated game, and things happened.
Things happen.
Emotions were involved.
Incredible.
Emotions were involved, so you laughed a lot, and he did not like that.
He did not enjoy me laughing.
Did you enjoy getting thrown out for laughter?
Now I do, yeah.
Now you do?
Now I do. It was
Okay.
one, yeah, it is one of the more memorable moments.
Will you describe what's going on here?
We're walking onto the court after a timeout. You got in the way, overreacted as usual,
I overreacted?
and we went about our ways.
Okay. Me and my therapist see those very differently, but okay, that's fine. What is your go-to karaoke song, and why is it unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield?
Two-part questions. I don't even know what song that is.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, respect for Tim Duncan not knowing Natasha Bedingfield. I don't know. I feel like that's a W.
Hum a couple of bars, maybe it'll come.
I don't know.
No.
I don't hum.
You don't. You can sing it. Go for it.
No, I can't sing.
Just like, give me some of the lyrics.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't know. Baby Got Back, I guess.
Would you like to sing some of that for maybe the younger
I don't know.
generation?
It's not good sound in here.
But Baby Got Back?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Shout out Vanessa.
That's wild. That was a wild comment. That was a wild comment.
That was inappropriate.
I don't know why that's
apologize.
okay.
That was inappropriate. That's not okay.
It's
That
okay.
wasn't okay.
It's
That wasn't.
okay.
I was
It's
just.
fine.
Okay.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
But that's your what? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't really know why. Okay.
Does it bother you that after getting years of criticism for your jeans, that those jeans are now in style?
This is one of my biggest gripes watching these games. The dress of individuals that are allowed to dress the way they are right now.
You were ahead of the
was
trend.
I ahead of the
You
trend?
were ahead of the trend. It was kind of like 90s fashion is back, but like you brought it to the 2018s
Yeah.
or kept it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's
I don't know where that one's going.
Look,
your interviewing skills have to take questions somewhere, but it's fine. You're doing well.
why are you looking at the time?
How long? You thought you said this was going to be?
Your questions are so good, or your answers. Your answers. Okay.
You're not good with time, are you?
Here, we can call it there. Tesla, I totally agree with you, by the way. Like, I don't think he's the fun, like he's fine. Really charismatic though. And I wonder if he replaces JJ Redick, assuming that JJ gets moved, right? Or that he's going to coach. Because it does feel like, and I know No Dunks were talking about this a little bit this week or last week. I can't remember. They all run together. That like Doris and JJ both kind of do the same thing. They both seem like they're putting their glasses on and they're breaking down the play, right? That's what they both kind of do that. Where Jefferson feels like Jefferson also feels like he's okay not going at a player, but being a little bit more critical, where we haven't seen much of that from JJ and Doris. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like RJ. RJ's a little corny, but I like it. All right, so Weisberg was saying Stephen A. went on local radio yesterday and said Draymond's comments about Draymond losing faith in Stephen A. were bullshit. He was angry for 10 minutes straight. Yeah, I just want them to both go away. I want them to go away. I don't think I want to hear from Draymond anymore. I honestly don't want to hear from Stephen A. Smith anymore. Mike the Mad Dog, I don't want to hear from him anymore. I don't want to hear from Skip Bayless anymore. We got to get let's get some younger people in there. We need new blood. We need new blood. Because I'm done with it. I like Shanae Ogumukwe. I think she does a really good job when she's in the studio shows. Because they like during the the NCAA women's tournament, I thought she was that was top tier, like studio / analysis show. We need more of her, more of Shanae. I think she's great. I think that will be I think we'll start seeing more and more of her. I know she's on Get Up occasionally, I think too. Also Mike Greenberg. Trying to take Mike Greenberg out back. Anyways, what else we got? Should have Doc back in the studio by March next year. I know. Great stuff. All right, let's go find a pick'em. Let's go find a pick'em for tonight. Let's go see what we got cooking. Let's share screen. We had a tough night on the pick'ems last night, but a good night. Actually, we're going to draft the team first. They're doing these 2-day contests. So we're going to draft the team first, and then we're going to go and then we'll go do a pick 'em. So for the draft, this starts tonight. So it's tonight's game and tomorrow night's Celtics Pacers game. So I'm starting under the assumption that Hallie is not going to play. So because of that, we're going to start with Nembhard. And this is like a salary cap, right? So we got $50K to build this team. Nembhard at 48, and then we're going to go McConnell. I think we're going to do those. And I kind of think this game gets out of hand, right? If we're assuming Halliburton's not playing, is Obi Toppin the next click? Do you think we see a lot of Obi Toppin if this game gets out of hand? I don't really want to take too many Pacers because I think it's going to be gross. Oh, Jackson. You know what? Jackson is probably a good call. And that's 3K. So now that leaves us 9,300 the rest of the way. Now, I think what I would prefer to do is just go Luka, Ant, Kyrie. Actually, that's leaving too much on the table. So maybe what we do here instead, right? So you got Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving, Ant. I like the Jackson call, but McConnell, like I want to play TJ. What if we remove one of this is it. We have 7 guys right now. If we remove one of TJ or Ant or Nembhard, who would you keep? I saw it like McConnell didn't play any blowout minutes last night. See you, Stubbs. Have a good weekend, man. Good luck tonight. I know this is a big Mavs game for you with that bet. You'd keep Nembhard. All right, let's move off McConnell here for a second. I don't think we're going to have enough money to get to Derek White in this way, unless you're saying we should do that over Jaylen Brown. What we could do if we went Derek White, we could do Derek White and Rudy, or we could do Drew Holiday and Karl Anthony Towns. We could do, I don't really want to play Miles Turner or Siakam in this type of build. So actually, we already have Ant. Yeah, I think we go Drew Cat. I like White too. Yeah, I think we go Drew Cat though. Drew Cat. This is a good. So this is like a Celtics blowout, right? So the only really Celtic we have is Drew Holiday. In a blowout, you could make a case for Peyton Pritchard too, or like one of those guys if you think it really gets out of hand. But I would go, all right, Drew, Cat, Kyrie, Ant, Luka, Isaiah Jackson, Nembhard. There you go. Bang. Used all of our salary too. All right, we're gonna go do a pick 'em now. Yeah, I had McConnell over 7. Yeah, my picks were pretty rough last night. We got smoked. The blowout hurt. Jason Tatum decided not to rebound until the second half. I think he had 2 at halftime and then finished with, I want to say it was like 6 or 7. So that was tough. Also, they added baseball to the pick'ems. I don't know if any baseball bros are in the chat and you have strong takes, let me know. But we'll focus on NBA because that's what we do up in here. They also added all of the we get some extra little I think is that a firecracker, fire extinguisher? They get some higher multipliers though. Yeah, Weisberg, I meant to talk about this. I was surprised that they pulled their starters with like 10 minutes to go, I think, or 9. There you go, 9 minutes to go. I wonder, though, because it was like a 14 or 16-point game. I wonder if he was like, listen, we don't have Halliburton. We're not winning this game. I need my guys as rested as possible to just go nuts in game 3. They weren't winning that game because they weren't winning that game when Halliburton was playing. So I get the conversation around it, but I was fine with it. I don't think it was as big of a deal as everybody was yelling about. All right, what do we think about tonight? Does anybody have any spicy-ish takes? Snoopaloop on vacation. Where are we at today? Where are we at? Where's vacay? Last time I talked to you on vacation, you were in Arizona, I think, for some spring ball, right? Do we go back to the Nas Reed well, baby? Do we go back? Oh, there we go. Common man coming into hot. Over points, rebounds, and assists. All right, let's see. Is it 16 and a half? Bang, we can do that. Lively over. We do like the Lively over again. All right, let's see. We got Lively. 15 and a half points and rebounds. It's 16. Oh, yeah, you said points and rebounds. All right, let's go that direction. You got the Ant over PRA. Actually, I'm going to do Kyrie first because I definitely agree with this. I loved the over in of assists, of 4.5 assists, but we can just do that. Does Nas tend to play well in consecutive games? Dude, I don't know. Great question. Oh, nice, Snoop. Nice. Shoot, whatever. I'll just do all 4 of them. No, let's be conservative. Let's do a 3-man. So we got Nas over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Lively over 15.5 points and rebounds, and then Kyrie over 8.5 rebounds and assists. Boom, let's do it. Let's do it. And there you go. Common man says Nas is a Mav killer historically. I think they found some good stuff with Nas out there too. So I wonder if we do see a little bit more Nas Reed. So that makes sense to me. That does make sense to me. Hey, also, if you're watching over on YouTube, I know we're going to wrap up here in a second, but make sure you come join the playback room if you haven't done that yet. Come get in the playback room. Conman thinks they really are going to reduce the root. Should we do a Rudy under then? You want to hit a Rudy under before we get out of here? Do another one? I'm fine with that. Let's do, this time I'm just going to do over 4.5 assists. Let's do a Rudy under 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then what was the other one that you liked that we didn't do? The Ant over points, rebounds, and assists. What is that? What is that? 39. All right. Although I also think we should do, you know what? I'm going to throw Nas back in here again with this one, because if they're reducing Rudy minutes, I think that's either more of Naz Reid or more of Kyle Anderson. And I know the Mavs are going to be fine letting Kyle Anderson shoot the ball, but Kyle Anderson went like 5 for 8 or 6 for 9, whatever it was. I don't want to bet on that happening again. So let's do this one. For the podcast people, it's 25 to win, 250. Kyrie over 4.5 assists. Rudy lower than 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Ant-Man higher than 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Naz Reid over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Hell yes. All right, gang, we're going to call it there. We'll be back 3 p.m. We're going to do some F1 stuff. So if you're into F1, come back here. I already created the stream. You can see it. My guy James is going to come on and just kind of educate me. That's usually how that works. But we're going to talk about last week's race where Red Bull and McLaren were balling out. We got Monaco. That's this weekend, and Monaco is one of the better, more fun races to watch. A lot of rich people out in there. So we're going to talk about that preview. And then tonight we'll be back for some more Mavs, some more Wolves. And I'm sure we'll be streaming all weekend long, too, for the games. We'll have Celtics-Pacers game 3 on Saturday, and then tonight's rematch into Dallas, in the hostile environment of Dallas for Sunday. So hope everybody has a good weekend if I don't see you at the rest of this stuff. But you know what? You should be there. Do better. You should be there. I'm going to end the YouTube first so I don't forget to do that and let the camera keep running.